So let us begin. There is someone named Rav Nachum Stillerman. Have you heard of him? Probably not. He's like a tzaddik of a man who lives here in Har Nof. He's probably in his 80s. He teaches this as a whole course. He actually didn't teach it until a few years ago. He calls it the SMART plan. He created this. He charged like thousands of dollars for big companies to meet with him and create a SMART plan for their company. His was like hundreds of pages long for each company. Ours is like a paragraph, okay? But I did his course. I did this SMART plan. It is so helpful in life. What is it? You see it on the sheet. I just took the SMART plan and applied it to 30-day challenges. One is specific. M is? Measurable. A is? Attainable, accountable. R is? Realistic, relevant. And T is? Time-bound. And tefillah we'll put in. Okay. So what is it? Let's go through it. A goal needs to be written down. For a 30-day challenge, take a paper. You're going to write this down. 30-day challenge on top. I want to actually read. I'll read it from here. I have to preface. This Harvard MBA study I'm about to read is a super, super famous study. I was speaking to a Rav of ours who is very smart, and I was just mentioned to him once in passing. He said, you know it's not actually true, it was made up. I said, it can't be. He's like, it's fine. I was like, I teach this. He said, you can still teach it because everyone knows this study, even though it's not true. So I never looked into see how far this is actually true, and I never looked into see if what he said is actually not true. But I have to give this preface because I do not want you, just so you know that those were the two information I was given. We'll read it though. Graduates from the MBA program at Harvard were asked, have you set clear written goals for your future and made plans to accomplish them? Only 3% of the graduates had written goals and plans. 13% had goals, but they were not in writing, and 84% had no specific goals at all. What was their goal? I'll graduate Harvard, that's enough. For the parents, probably is enough. 10 years later, the researchers interviewed this same MBA class again. They found that the 13% who had goals that were not written down were earning, on average, twice as much as the 84%, okay? The 13% who had goals but they didn't write it down were earning twice as much as 84% of the people who didn't have any specific goals at all, okay? The 3% of graduates who had clear written goals when they left Harvard were earning on average 10 times as much as the other 97% of graduates altogether. Is that powerful? 10%, they were earning 10 times as much as the other graduates. Apparently when Obama was in Harvard, he wrote down, I'm going to be president of the United States. Writing something down, having it in writing, when you take on a Kabbalah, when you take something upon yourself, when you do a 30-day challenge, write it down. It makes it real. Even though you know you're going to do it anyways, fine, for 30 days I'll do it. Have a paper, write down, literally write down, goal, and then write down what the goal is. Goal is, make a goal, whatever, write it down, it's powerful. Okay, now what is the actual recipe? S means to be specific. Let's use the example of exercise. I want to exercise, okay? I really need to work on exercising. I decided, because I heard this great class, that I am going to do a 30-day challenge for exercise. And I'm even going to write it down. Sabrina, how am I going to write it?
Very clear.
Tell me, what am I going to say?
I'm going to exercise every day for the next 30 days.
Great. I am going to exercise every day for the next 30 days. That is my written goal. Is that specific?
Yeah.
Can it be any more specific?
Yeah.
Rachel?
I'm going to do 30 minutes of cardio at this time for the next 30 days.
I am going to do 30 minutes of cardio every day.
I'm going to run for 30 minutes.
I'm going to run for 30 minutes every day. More specific? Can it be more specific?
I'm going to run uphill.
I'm going to run uphill for 30 days.
At this time.
Oh, okay, what time? Give a time.
8 a.m.
8 a.m. I am going to run uphill for 30, I am going to run uphill at 8 a.m. for 30 days. Do we need, is there a place? Up the Neve Hill. Let's hope it doesn't take us half hour. Right, so, but you're getting what I'm saying, right? Do we need any, let's say if it's not running, let's say it's you're going to the gym or you're exercising in your home. What kind of exercises are you doing? We're going to get to measurable. You need to be able to measure what you're doing. But specific means as clear as possible. Why is it not? I'll tell you something that I did personally this past month. It's not specific enough to say, I will not speak Lashon Hara. Lashon Hara means, right, just speaking negatively about people, just not positive talk, okay? I'm not speaking Lashon Hara ever again. How long does it last for? Until I get my next phone call where my friend is complaining about her mother, okay? And basically that's how long it lasts. So how can I be more specific with that?
Say like something specific you're not going to be saying.
Yes, so give me an example.
I don't know. You'll no longer comment on what other people are wearing.
Okay, that's pretty specific. You can even go more because you're never going to comment on anyone's clothes. What if she walks in wearing like, I don't know, she just bought Britney Spears' oldest suit in the world. Like, what if you want to comment on that? So it's good. You can say, I'm not going to comment on anyone.
Negative. You won't say negative things about people. Like, you won't criticize what people are wearing. Like, maybe you'll like, still say compliments, but specifically you won't say.
You're not criticizing. You can still make comments, but no criticizing. It's good. It's specific, but you can even get more. Again, to not criticize anyone, that's really hard. I just had a really annoying bus driver, right? To not criticize anyone. So either you can do, I'm not using these sentences, okay? The word stupid will not come out of my mouth for 30 days. We're going to do leeway, okay? You can fall back sometime. Or you can do, and this is personally what I did, I'm not going to speak about these two people for 30 days. And I just chose, why? Because the moment I chose two people, and you have to reaffirm, tell yourself every day, then I was more conscious, am I about to speak about her? No, I'm not. Oh, it's fine. The moment I said, oh, it's not her I'm speaking about, then I'm like, what, so it's okay to speak about this person? You know what I mean? The moment like I did that in my mind, I'm like, ooh, it's not her. Okay, so now I'll like speak negatively about her, and it transferred into that. But we're going to get to, when we get to realistic, I was very realistic about which people I chose. I chose two people. I was very realistic about it. I did not choose two people who I had very strained relationships with. Why? Because there are times where I need to vent, or there are times where it's like, I'm just so frustrated with this neighbor, like I'm going to explode, right? Because if they ask me one more favor, right? So I didn't choose people that I find it the most difficult, but I chose two people that it comes up in my life. They come up. So again, specific can mean I'm going to the gym, 8 a.m., 10 minutes cardio, 10 minutes treadmill, 10 minutes stretching, okay? And the gym across from my house. Specific, at what time? Why? Because when you get to measurable, did you do it or not? Instead of saying, I am going to bed early from now on forever. Really? Your wedding night, you're going to bed early? Really? Your grandkid's wedding, you're going to go to bed early? What does that mean? So to say, and we're going to get to, again, realistic. Every day you're going to go to bed early? What about Shabbos? What about trips they go on? What about Yom Kippur, people stay up a lot? What about Shavuos? Okay? You can do, I am going to go to bed. Give me an example of bed specific.
11 o'clock Monday through Thursday, except for holidays.
That's great. I am going to go to bed at 11 o'clock Monday through Thursday, right? Because Shabbat's hard. You go to people's houses. You need to understand, I'm not in charge of when this meal ends. Right, so Monday through Thursday, and even that's a lot. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 days a week. If I'm going to bed at midnight every night, to go to bed at 9:30, it's a big jump, right? So even just worst case, it's better to make a small goal and be able to achieve it than to make a big goal and not be able to achieve it. Success breeds success. Failure breeds failure. I really believe that, okay? So the more you're able to see, oh, cool, I did that. I know I could do that. Okay, so let me do it again as opposed to, I knew I couldn't do it. Even for 30 days, I couldn't do it. I told you about that student that I once cheated for her. Yeah, right? I had a student I once cheated when I was teaching elementary school. And this was grade 3, and we had a weekly quiz. I was an English teacher. And she studied, and this girl's a perfectionist, and she studied so hard for these quizzes. And she'd always get like 1 or 2 off. One day she was like, Mrs. Gersht, I can't, and this week I'm really gonna do it, and I'm gonna study so hard. And she even the day of she even told me like the week before, the whole week I'm gonna study, and she was like so excited she's gonna get perfect. Like I think it was like 18 out of 18 something, or 10 out of 10. I don't remember exactly on her quiz. And I said, come to me after school. We'll study together. We even studied together after school because she was gonna get perfect on this quiz, and she needed to see that. Okay, the day of the quiz comes. She does the quiz. She gets 1 question wrong. I'm like, I can't. Right? She tried to, I switched some letters and I gave her a perfect score. Don't try that at home. I don't know if teachers are supposed to be cheating. But why did I do that for her? Because success breeds success. She tried so hard. She even studied with the teacher after school. Who does that? She even studied with the teacher after school. And she studied extra hours, not just the day before the quiz. And she still couldn't do it. And I'll never be able to do it. Okay, she needed to see a perfect score. So you could, and her, like, she flew, like she was flying. I knew it, right? Success breeds success. You want to be specific and you want to be realistic. You want to choose small things because success breeds success, and then you'll do it again. Take on something bigger next time, okay? Even if I'm going to bed Sundays and Wednesdays, right? Thursday night, people like to go out. Okay, maybe do Sundays and Thursdays. I'm going to bed. What does that mean, go to bed? That's not specific enough. Does that mean starting your bedtime routine? Does that mean being in bed? Does that mean being in bed with the lights out? Does that mean being in bed but on Facebook? What does that mean? I am going to be in bed, lights out, phone charging at 9:30, Mondays and Wednesdays. That's it. Yeah.
I find there's always something in life that gets in the way though, like, and then just use the example of going to bed. If you say I'm going to bed even just on Monday and Wednesday, on Wednesday night some amazing event comes up that you can't go to ever again. Like, are you really going to say my goal of going to bed earlier is more important than this once in life I never played to bed?
Great question. I love the commitment issue stuff. I love it.
Everything. I'm so glad I'm having this class.
Yeah, so welcome to Gersht. So 2 things. One is, first of all, some people, yes, Rav Yashiv, who was the leading Torah sage in Jerusalem, who passed away in 2013, that was 3 years ago. Okay, he left his daughter's wedding early because his bedtime was 10 o'clock. Okay, he was the Gadol Hador, so I'm not putting myself in that category. The answer is no. I would go to that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Forget about once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. My friends are all going out for pizza. I want to do it. So we're going to get to leeway, which is you can mess up a certain amount of times, okay? So we'll get there when we get there. We only have a couple minutes left now. We'll continue, God willing, not on Monday, because Monday's Rosh Hashanah. But there's something called leeway, which is you put down in writing, because we're writing everything down. I can mess up 3 times. Mind you, what does mess up mean? So you switch Wednesday night to Thursday night. We switch Wednesday night to Sunday night, if you know what's happening. And if every single night something comes up, which this happens in my life a lot, and I'm thinking just switch your bedtime back, because if something's coming up every night, then yes, there is something wrong with that. Because that means that either we're being irresponsible, or else we're just like have serious FOMO and we can't miss out on anything. But there is certain discipline that's necessary in this. Ask the Russians, they'll teach you. But there is certain discipline that is necessary in this, because things do come up and we're planning for things coming up. But things can't come up every single day, right? And we'll get to leeway, God willing. We're not going to go there now. But specific, that is really the key one, which is how specific can you get? Don't say you're going to bed, because what if your roommate wants to sit and talk to you, right? And also, you should know, we'll finish here, continue next class, God willing, is people are understanding when you're, I'm doing a 30-day challenge, it's crazy, right? Like, your roommate's in the middle of talking to you, like, crazy thing, I'm doing a 30-day challenge, I have to be in bed right now. People understand it, right? Like, someone bought you, because I do personally a lot of this with junk food. I love junk food, in case I didn't say that enough times in this class. So people can get you presents, like, oh, Mr. Gersht, I got you a chocolate bar, or my husband will bring, it's like, well, I'm not going to solve it. I can't not eat it, and I'm at someone's house for dessert. I can't not eat it. It's rude. It's like, people will understand, okay? Essentially, you're saying, I care more about you than I care about me if you break it for that. People understand if you're like, thank you so much. I can't believe it. I'm on a 30-day challenge, okay? And if you look at this, I'll tell you a funny story, and then we'll finish. I'm sorry, but we have 1 more minute, is if you look at this as something like, no matter what, I'm keeping to this, you'll do it. If you look at it as you look at, let's say, if you don't eat meat and dairy together, okay, you keep the whole 6-hour rule, then you'll keep this. I'll tell you a really funny story, meat and dairy. I have serious, what do they call it? Fleischophobia. There you go. Fleischophobia. Yeah, okay. Which means I'm afraid it's like a Jewish thing. There's a few phobias Jews have. Fleischophobia is one of them. It's to eat meat, okay? Why? Because that means that if a chocolate bar comes up, I can't have it for 6 hours. Coffee, I'm exhausted. I can't have coffee for 6 hours. I love macaroni and cheese. I love dairy more than I like meat. I have serious fleischophobia.
So many people like that.
What?
Dairy more than meat, they have that.
Yeah, so I seriously have it. Like, what if, and it's like anytime I'm about to have meat, it's like, what time of day is it? 1 second. Am I expecting anything? Did I go grocery shop? Because if I go grocery shopping, maybe I want. Okay, so one night, my husband was there, and it was, I'm not kidding you, okay? It was 8 o'clock at night. And I'm not that crazy, but it happened to be, I was like, didn't want to have fleishik that day, okay? And I was like really in the mood for dairy, but we just didn't have anything interesting in the house. So I told my husband, and he even had guests there, and I was like, Moshe, I'm doing it. I was like, I'm gonna have the chicken in the fridge. And his friend's like, why are you announcing that? I'm like, he understands. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. He's like, okay. And it's like, I had the chicken. My husband goes to walk this friend out. As he goes to walk this friend out, I get a knock at the door. My brother's there holding a pie of pizza.
No!
Okay? If you saw my jaw when he walked in. My husband walked in right after him. They passed him all. He's like, oh. I'm like, I have almost tears. I'm saying this, like, because if you can imagine, I waited the whole day. Okay, I didn't even want the chicken, and I was so in the mood of dairy, and I get a knock. My brother's there. I think he's like, you sounded really tired. I don't remember what it was. My brother surprised me with a pie of pizza. Yisha, I have to shout out for you, right? He surprised me with a pie of pizza. I just looked at him and I was like, I think I want to cry. I was so hard. But I didn't eat my husband said, he literally looked at me, he's like, I will never blame you again for fleischophobia. He felt so bad because he thinks I'm crazy. Like, just have the stupid, have the meat. It's so much better. He's like, I will never say one more word about your fleischophobia, right? But I didn't have the pizza. Why? Because I just had chicken. It wasn't even a question. Yeah. So if you have that in your mind of, I'm committed to this, don't worry, just for 30 days, day 30, let's say you're working on not watching TV, day 31, I'll sit in bed for 24 hours straight, watch all the latest TV shows. 30 days straight, just commit to it, okay? It could really be life-changing, and people will understand. Like my brother wasn't insulted that I didn't have his pizza. He was okay. He just bought it for me. It was so nice, but I just had fleishik. So same way the doorman understood. I'm sorry, I can't shake your hand. People understand. So God willing, we'll continue with the smart plan next week.
That 1 hour.
I know. It was 10 minutes. It was literally 10 minutes. I wish everyone a wonderful Rosh Hashanah.